So right now, right here on the first episode of the Back Three, where we dissect and discuss football conversations, and to my right back is Samuel Akintunde, City Boy, and to my left is Mighty. This is where we discuss different football conversations. We give our own opinions, and we hear yours as well. But something clicked in my mind. I think I saw something online where some people were arguing about them being top 3 analysts, all the social media analysts. Yeah. And do you think that is analysis, or for me, I think that's punditry, not analysis? Or I don't know, what do you think?
In recent times, it feels like everything is starting to get molded together. Punditry, analysis, I don't know if it's the new language but right now everyone is a pundit. Everybody is a football pundit, ex-players are now pundits.
Yeah.
But personally, I think analysis is different. Punditry is a bit shallow, and it takes into consideration maybe your emotions. For example, if you take a look at some of those foreign channels, for their pundits, they prefer to bring somebody who is emotionally connected to a particular topic. For example, if Manchester City and Arsenal are playing, you will see a Manchester City.
And that's what they always do for ex-players.
Yeah, you see a Manchester City legend and an Arsenal legend because they want them to be emotionally connected as to what they're saying. But when it comes to analysis is blind.
Very objective.
Very objective.
I think what differentiates analysis and punditry is the objectivity.
Yeah.
And that's why I will agree with what Mighty said, that punditry is a bit shallow. Because when we talk about analysis, it has to be objective, you need more depth.
Yeah. You look at different, look at data, look at videos.
You are not carried away by your emotions.
Yeah. No bias.
You just have to say the way it is, even if you are criticizing maybe your club, so to say, because we know that you cannot be totally 100% objective.
I think punditry comes from just opinions.
It's just your opinion, and that's why it's open to more arguments.
Although analysis sometimes can also be based on opinion, but then
it's also based on more facts and stats, figures.
Figures. But some pundits also come with facts. They come with stats.
Yeah.
But the thing is, they are always.
It's always driven by
their emotion, by their connection to a particular subject they are discussing. That's what differentiates punditry and analysis for me. But I think analysis is more in depth,
more objective.
You just have to come with depth.
Yeah. And more objective, like no bias.
Yeah, absolutely.
So maybe that leads us to something that came up this week. We had the FIFPRO released their Word XI, which maybe not something in depth like we said, probably maybe from just their own point of bias, because those lists on that list kind of maybe I don't agree with it 100%. And I don't know, what is what in that list, who do you think should have made that list that's not there? Because in that list we have Donnarumma in goal.
Okay.
Which is, I don't know if you agree on that, to have Donnarumma in goal.
Yes, I think based on what PSG achieved last season, I would like to think about all the top goalkeepers that maybe won the league, Alisson Becker, Thibaut Courtois with Real Madrid, Donnarumma. And I think for the sheer fact that it was amazing over 4 tournaments, and even at the FIFA Club World Cup, despite the fact that they gave it to Sanchez because he was on the winning team, I still thought Donnarumma was the best goalkeeper in that tournament. So yeah, absolutely.
Sanchez was just the best.
So in the list they had Donnarumma in goal. They have Hakimi.
By the way, the formation.
Yeah, because
these are generated reactions and conversations, and that's why we are also having this conversation because a lot of people have disagree with this Word 11 released by FIFPRO. By the way, what is FIFPRO? I mean the
FIFPRO 11.
FIFPRO 11.
That's FIFA players.
Yeah.
It's actually
professional players.
International Federation of Professional footballers.
Yeah.
So they came together to actually release this.
And
This was voted for by the players.
Voting system, voted by players. Then we begin to wonder, there are names that are there that are not supposed to be there. Why did they vote for these players? Why some players were not included in this starting 11? I think for me, generally, there are some names that are generally accepted that when you mention them, people will not even just like Donnarumma. We all agree that
Donnarumma deserves it.
I can't think of any better
Goalkeeper last season.
All true, both for club and for country. He was very, very phenomenal. Then I think firstly, the formation for me is off the mark. There is imbalance with this formation. You are playing 3-4-3, right? With one centre back.
Why would you even go to 3-4-3? If you go back to the FIFPRO 11 for the last 2, 3, 4,
I think
it's always 4-3-3. So
why
what
now?
change this is not like the general formation in the world changed.
Exactly.
Most clubs are still playing 4-3-3. So why did the world 11?
3-4-3 is not even
the most popular example.
formation.
We understand when it changed from 4-4-2 to 4-3-3.
4-3-3,
Most of the clubs changed to 4-3-3, but as far as I'm concerned, the only top club right now is Manchester United. So why 3-4-3?
So they have Hakimi as one of the 3 backs, the centre backs. Hakimi, Van Dijk, Mendes. They have Palmer, Bellingham, Pedri, Vitinha, Yamal, Mbappe, Dembele. So let's start from
the back.
We picked on the goalkeeper now. We all agree.
Yep.
Let's go on to the centre backs.
Okay.
That means Hakimi, Van Dijk, and Nuno Mendes.
First and foremost, those are not centre backs.
Yes, just one centre back.
Because in a 3-4-3 formation, you have 3 centre backs, 2 wing backs who are part of the midfield four, and then you have only 2 central midfielders.
Yeah.
So if we were to arrange this formation for a football game, penalty will throw you on the because they are putting 2 fullbacks as centre back. So I think it looks like agenda formation. But then, if we now go down to the personnel, I think the only 2 that I agree with in that back line would be Nuno Mendes and
And if you even agree with them,
they are not as centre backs, but as per what they did as a fullback.
But why do you think it's so difficult for them to have a back 4 with 2 traditional centre backs and wing backs?
Because there's some people in the midfield that want to squeeze in some people.
Because this is the point. You have Van Dijk, who happens to be like maybe the best defender in the centre. But looking at the level of the league, right? We all know that maybe the French Ligue 1 and the EPL are not on the same ranking
in terms of competition.
And you have 2 fullbacks from the French league, right? So why not have 2 centre backs from the Premier League, or maybe one in the Premier League?
Then you have two fullbacks from the French league.
From the French league,
Hakimi and Mendes.
So for Hakimi and Mendes,
they deserve to be there,
but not as centre back. So, but if the formation is like a 4 at the back, they deserve to be in the fullback.
Definitely.
So looking at it, Van Dijk, who else can we say has been the best centre back that can pair Van Dijk in a 4 at the back situation?
If you are to in the Premier League, we have Van Dijk. If you are to make a shot for someone in the Premier League, another centre back, then I would look towards Gabriel.
I don't Saliba.
I think Gabriel is more solid.
More solid.
At the back, really?
Yes.
Let's take out Gabriel's prolific nature of coming out to head balls. When it comes to core defending, when it comes to solidity at the back, really, Gabriel versus Saliba, I'll go with Saliba.
Well, you are entitled to I think
I remember 2 seasons ago their season practically crumbled because there was a Saliba missing at the back. There was Gabriel that season.
That could also be because the new centre back pairing was way below Saliba's. Having Flo coming into for Saliba against Gabriel.
But if you would say the most important centre back,
I think every Arsenal fan will even agree that Gabriel is the most.
Is it for defensive astuteness or for what he contributes generally, which is goals up front and defensive?
Even the way he coordinates back
really well. He's like the commander of that.
He's like the anchor of that defense line.
I Saliba.
Where Saliba is also very, very rugged as well. But I think Gabriel, in terms of his composure,
that
in terms
fighting,
of
that fighting,
that fighting spirit, tenacity, ruggedity.
Yeah.
Look at the way he always play against Erling Haaland. This is someone that is good at man marking a striker, a player, and is also very good at coordinating his backline, and is also very good at coming into the coming up with crucial goals and all of that. We cannot take that away from him actually, because this is one of the things that also give Van Dijk spots in that because he always
if you add everything together, I agree with you that it's Gabriel coming up, is prolific nature with his head and everything. But I still believe that when it comes to core defending, I think that's good.
Because while I'm looking at us having another player from the center west, if you are looking at this list based on trophies, two people didn't win trophies. Bellingham and Mbappe, but they still made it. So I don't think it should be trophy. It should be trophy based. Yeah, it should not be trophy based, because even in a title winning team, you can only have 2 world class players, 3 world class players.
But the reality is, there's no way you want to downplay the importance of.
No, we are not downplaying it.
I know.
Trophy. But the point I'm making is that
it shouldn't be limited.
It shouldn't be. See,
I'm not saying it should.
There are you can be in a title winning team, and you are not really the best player in that team. But it's possible. Yeah, of course. Very, very possible, because you have about 15 players, and you are maybe just coming from the bench. You're also solid, but it doesn't mean like you are the best player in that position. So we are looking at ability
individual
in the game over collective. Collective is trophy.
That should be the
collective is trophy.
Yeah, the first yardstick to decide who makes this list should be based on individual ability.
I mean, even for Ballon d'Or, the first criterion is individual performance, then team achievement,
fair play, character.
So based on individual ability, which should not be limited to a title winning team. Any team can win title, even without you having the best players. Right.
But I still maintain my position that the sad reality is trophy will still be mentioned, because look at Van Dijk now. The only edge that Van Dijk has over Saliba or Gabriel is the fact that he's a title winning centre back.
He won the Premier League.
And that's why he's on this list. That's why it's easy for them to make
sure. Take a look and say, who is the first centre back? I mean, they're not going to leave the title winning centre back and go.
No, that's what I'm saying. Okay, you look at the Premier League. The first and second teams, like we can say, the first and second teams are always like the best team in the league. Which even if you are bringing up a player of the year, XI, you always look at the team that wins the title, the second, then you look at the other ones, right? So you cannot even 20 teams in the league, only one will win the title. Okay, but doesn't mean like
they have all the good players
in different positions.
Exactly. So this list coming out like it's all about 30 teams.
Should we look elsewhere for another centre back?
Yeah, I think we should.
Okay. Who do you?
We should go to
Paris.
I think Pacho or
But they have Hakimi, they have Mendes already in this list.
They won 4. They deserve what they have.
There was what's the essence of now having an extra when you are backing 5 players from the
league extra.
This is not be league now.
But if
they have Dembele.
If out of a back 4, they have 3. I don't think it's too bad for a team.
They even have goalkeeper.
But they have the goalkeeper. They want to squeeze in 4 fullbacks, and they have Dembele.
They want a corner ball. Then it's like
okay. Let's just decide centre back. Van Dijk, Gabriel.
Then we have Hakimi and Mendes.
So we are changing the formation.
Yes,
of course we are changing because this is nonsense.
4-3-3. This is not. I don't know what the players are thinking.
Or going with this.
Or what this.
Agenda. So, they wanted to accommodate.
Then in the midfield you have Palmer, Mendes. In the midfield you have Palmer.
The best player.
I don't know.
What champion? But this is FIFPRO.
We're not talking about 7 games tournament. We're talking about your individual performance.
We're talking
for a year. Under review.
We're talking about everything.
Guys.
We're talking about everything. Messi
guys.
not the year he won the World Cup. He didn't have a great season club-wise.
And that's why we can
So,
But he had a
so
very
good World Cup. So
tournament.
we're talking about
Not even guys with good tournament.
exactly. So we're talking about everything.
No. This is the point. We are
Both the Club World Cup
This is the
and
point.
the league season
we are
and the
looking,
cup season.
looking at individual ability over the course of the year.
Yeah.
Also, City Boy agrees that you cannot downplay trophy.
Definitely, you cannot. You can't.
So Palmer in there, Bellingham, Pedri, Vitinha.
You know why I say you cannot downplay the importance of winning trophy? Because sometimes your individual accolade or individual ability also translates to that success of the team.
Yeah.
So you cannot.
But yes, to an extent, I want to agree to an extent. But also,
everything Salah did for Liverpool, take it away, they are not winning.
But
last season, they will not win the league.
But even prior to last season, he has done great.
No, I'm just.
But he has won he has been out the year for how many years now? And all the years he didn't win the league.
Yeah.
So you can the ability you cannot take it off.
Yeah.
Because
definitely.
if you are scouting players, if you say you want to scout players, you are not going to scout players based on the trophy that the team has.
No.
You are going to look at individual ability.
It's ability.
What you can do on the ball, what you can do off the ball, and it's game knowledge. So we have Palmer. Everybody's squeezing their face on Palmer. Like, how did Palmer get into this list? It's shocking, right?
Yeah. It's actually
It's shocking, but it's understandable to some extent.
exactly.
Yes.
Well, when you look at it, it's I usually say something that the world of football, we have a short memory.
We are recency bias. Too much recency
bias is everything. So even though Kopama blanked from like January till the end of the season, which almost cost Chelsea a place in the top. Well, it cost them a place in the top 4, but they eventually made up into the top 5 because England got an extra slot.
And they won the Conference League.
But that blanking for 6 months, I would maybe ask the question: when you blank in the league consistently for 6 months, and then in the 7 game tournaments at the end of the season, you find your mojo in the 3rd game.
In the last game, I'm sure.
Well, let's just say semi-final also he was decent.
Yeah, of course.
You find maybe from the quarterfinals of the round of 16, you find your mojo, and then you are good, and then you win the tournament, the player of the tournament. Does it counteract the fact that
others have performed also? That
when you are blanking from January to May, there were some players that were dropping back to back. Performances game in, game out till the end of the season, and it's culminated in a major trophy for their team, aka Salah. Because I don't understand how, because of just the Club World Cup, you put in there Palmer. If Palmer was so important, why didn't he win the PFA award? You put in Palmer there, and you ignore totally Salah, highest goal scorer, highest assist, PFA Player of the Year, Premier League Player of the Year, Football Writers Association Player of the Year.
Even the number of goals he scored is importance in the team.
I mean, highest goal scorer, highest assist. You put that away because of 3-4 game performance in a 7-game tournament.
That's very questionable.
It's shocking.
Although Chelsea fans will tell you that Kopama did not actually, go blank all season because he got 16 Premier League Man of the Match.
In how many months? Because that's why I said from January to May.
Yeah, last year.
The second
half of the season.
But Chelsea fans, we know that if you don't reach to the compare, and they go talk say Caicedo is better than. But the Caicedo no they this list now. Imagine they have no.
We tell you say Caicedo is better than Rice.
Based on the fact that
what the Caicedo and the
the point is why is Caicedo not ahead of Palmer? Because even to Chelsea fans, Caicedo looks like their best player.
But not last season. They will not tell last season.
Not last season. I think it also depends on the position you are fighting. For example, in that defensive midfield position, Caicedo is probably going against Vitinha. And at that point,
Caicedo will not make it.
And they cannot even make it.
And they started Vitinha into the left wing here.
Vitinha is in as
to create room for an error.
You can imagine.
An error in judgment. A total error in judgment.
This formation is total rubbish. You have Kopama playing as a right wing back, then Vitinha, centre midfielder, playing as a left wing back. Who does that? Just to accommodate Bellingham.
On what basis?
On what basis should you have Bellingham in this?
Bellingham was not even even top 3 performer for
Bellingham did not even touch a trophy. So if you are going by maybe trophy 0,
I think he had injury as well.
We talked about Ballon d'Or criteria. 3.
He didn't fit
So
any-
let's take it one by one in regards to Bellingham. Individual performance. At Real Madrid, I picked top 3 performers at Real Madrid last season. I'm picking Orant, I'm picking Mbappe, I'm picking Vinicius, and maybe Rudiger at the back. I'm not, so he's not even in the top 3 performer for his team.
For his club.
And yet he's one of the best. He's in the best.
I don't even understand.
And then when you talk about team performance, the second criteria, Real Madrid went trophyless. Like they played 5 tournaments, including the club.
Aside from the intercontinental club that he.
Come on.
It was during the season, but we know that that's not the core season cup.
Tournament. They played 5, including Club World Cup, and went trophyless throughout. So how does Bellingham was not even there last season? I mean, in between injuries and
He was injured. He could not know.
And last season, they went through their, I think their bad period in recent times because they got knocked out in the Champions League. They actually had to settle for playoff in the Champions League. It's typical Real Madrid will not be playing playoff in the Champions League. So they had terrible run of games last season across the competition. They lost every year Clasico to their rival Barcelona. Even away from home.
They even got knocked out in the quarterfinal. I had to chip that in.
We understand.
So if you have to question the names there, Kopama, like I said, is understandable, but still not deserved.
So let's look at our own midfield 3. Our own midfield 3, right? You know, I don't know what.
It should be Pedri, Vitinha. Then me, I will have Dembele as a 10 because I want to accommodate Mbappe as forward
and Salah
and Rafinha.
So let's agree that we have, or let's say we have Vitinha.
Or should we just do it like this?
Vitinha, Pedri, and then we can have.
Should we do it like this?
Mbappe. With Mbappe as a 10.
Then you have Dembele up front. No, Mbappe. Mbappe is a leader forward. He will score goals.
Dembele as a 10.
Then you have Mbappe as a 9.
Dembele as a 10.
Yes, Dembele can operate behind the striker.
Okay. So we have in our own list now. We have Vitinha, Pedri, and Dembele. The midfield is settled. Now up front.
Top 3.
We've got Lamine Yamal here.
Front 3.
And we've got for us all.
No, we can question
in this list, they have
like Yamal, Mbappe, and Dembele up front 3.
So now
Dembele to the midfield. So there are 2 spaces now.
2 spaces.
No,
we still have
1.
Because you are still going to take.
Are you going to take Yamal?
No,
you have 1 space up front.
Yeah, 1 space up front. So we have now. Do you think Yamal should have made?
Personally, I have 2 more spaces up front.
Because you are taking out
Yamal.
But why? Let's discover why. He's second.
Yamal was not the best player in Barcelona last season.
But he was second on the Ballon d'Or.
Because of the PR.
But now
Barcelona fans were busy.
Looking at individual.
They dropped Mo Salah that finished, I think, 4th ahead of Rafinha.
He was not first runner of the Ballon d'Or. He was not second.
He was 4th.
I know, but
he finished ahead of Hakimi, and then you have Hakimi.
How do you put Vitinha 3rd on the Ballon d'Or list?
I think Vitinha.
And you take out 2nd Yamal.
We know, and let's agree on Ballon d'Or list. Ballon d'Or is
different from
this. Based on pre-R.
And it's based on popularity.
It's a PR.
Then don't let us go there. If you want to discuss that, it will definitely affect some players.
Yes.
Salah is ahead of Hakimi on Ballon d'Or ranking, and Salah is not here. So Hakimi is there.
City, but you are saying you don't want Yamal.
I will pick Rafinha over Yamal.
9 league goals. Why would you pick 9 league goals over 27?
Don't let us get it wrong. We are looking at individual ability.
Now let's talk about their individual ability.
It's just like individual ability and its contribution.
This guy had 30 goals and assists in La Liga last season.
That's Rafinha.
Playing wrong position. Don't forget, he was not playing his normal
position. He was playing on the left.
He was playing on the left. Rafinha, we tried from the right.
So looking at Lamine Yamal individual ability, I'm not looking at statistics. I'm not looking at how many goals you scored. I'm not looking, all those things. But individual ability and impact to your team. I'm not saying Rafinha does not have any impact.
No, you see.
But the point is, looking at Yamal, you can see the
flair,
the talent.
that should get you the Ballon d'Or ranking.
But it was second. Just lost by a point.
He was second. Fair enough. Individual ability, his
But
flair, his raw talent, and all that.
I agree that Ballon d'Or
Is PR.
It's not about what you did, it's about what can be built around you.
Yeah, the noise you can.
Exactly.
Because that word usually shifts. Yamal scores today, the Ballon d'Or move up.
Exactly.
The Dembele scores tomorrow.
I think here we should talk about, okay, Barcelona won the double.
Who was impactful?
Who was most important in delivering that double? Rafinha.
Who was not vital? It's Lamine Yamal. It's Rafinha.
Rafinha had the numbers to back himself. He had the numbers.
Forget the numbers.
I'm not saying Rafinha is not good. It's just like
the numbers are
this used to come to.
How do you?
No, this used to come to the argument where you look at Messi and Ronaldo and you feel Ronaldo is good, no doubt, but Messi has this.
He has this way chance.
Messi also has numbers to back it up. How do you?
Yamal had his breakthrough season last season.
Wait, Charles. Let me just ask you this simple question: how do you prove your individual ability without numbers? How do you prove that you are vital to a team when you're not contributing?
The numbers are part of it. Like
you cannot do without numbers.
But sometimes you just have to look away from the numbers and look at some other things.
See,
then now bring it together.
I will tell you for a fact that even not for the fact that Spanish national team got
Euros.
had that run in the Nations League. Euros got Rodri Ballon d'Or.
Yeah.
Even for the fact that they got that impressive run to the final. Lamine Yamal, they will not push for Lamine Yamal. Barcelona fans and Spanish fans will not push for Lamine Yamal. They will rather push for, because at the beginning of the season, towards the beginning of the second half of the season, it was Rafinha everywhere. They were pushing for Rafinha. Rafinha won their best player of the season. He won La Liga player of the season,
of course.
So
by far the best player. In this list now, we don't have La Liga best player. We don't have the Premier League best player.
What are these? Okay.
So
we are correcting the best here now.
Yamal was not that bad last season.
No, I know. I know. We still have numbers.
We still have 20 goals. No, La Liga.
Goals contribution.
13 assists, 9 goals. So it wasn't that.
No, it was. I'm not saying that it was that bad, but
Rafinha
was better.
But sometimes most of Lamine Yamal's impact is to come like maybe when they are needing that goal, he provides that assist or his one that scores.
And the fact
when they are needing that
goes through one or two players.
Exactly. When they are needing that goal,
Messi,
you see Barca playing the 2-2 draw, and you are expecting that even them they know they all boss to Yamal. And Yamal will create something, try to give an assist for somebody else to score.
And his age as well. The fact that
he's still I think the PR that was built around him for Ballon d'Or was mostly about his age.
18 years old.
That emotionally gets football fans, kind of. So in this list, probably we go for Rafinha, but I think Rafinha.
I'll go for Rafinha.
Because on the basis of having the best player of La Liga in that list, and also having the best player of the Premier League. So we'll go for Rafinha, we'll go for Salah, and then you cannot ignore the Euro.
The man that won the Golden Boot award. So Mbappe, the front line should be Salah, Rafinha, Mbappe. That's good enough.
That's it. I would still be okay with Salah, Yamal, Mbappe.
Yeah, definitely. I think
I will never be okay. The disrespect to Rafinha is very, very bad.
I understand what you're saying, but
the disrespect to that boy is very, very bad.
But when you talk about the most impactful Barcelona player last season,
what was it, Lamine Yamal?
Impactful
in what sense?
It's not about we score 5-0, we score a trick. We win, as in when in the most important moment, who shows up?
That's what I'm saying.
Who carries the team?
Rafinha always showed up.
I was still.
There was a time that Rafinha was injured. Barcelona they were struggling. You remember?
But I think when you talk about the most.
Okay, let's look at this time when they played. I think when they played
even currently that is injured this season, they're still struggling.
I think they're struggling because Yamila.
They're not struggling. They're not struggling.
They're not
struggling.
What do you mean they are not struggling?
I don't think
They
they're
are, I think they're struggling, but not because Rafinha is not available.
Not because of personnel.
They are not finding it difficult to score goals. They are finding it difficult to defend it.
But they are finding it difficult to win games.
But they are not finding
Because
it
they are conceding too much.
because they cannot.
Imagine yesterday scoring 3 and conceding 3.
And that's why you know the importance of goals. If Rafinha was there, I remember they played some games. They
will have played them maybe 5-3.
But you know that. But you know that it's not realistic. There's this thing that he said that you cannot win consistently if you consider an average of 2 goals per game, because
the defense
it's not in every game that you get to score
3 goals.
No, sometimes 2 goals. Yeah, exactly. Sometimes 2 goals will be enough. Sometimes a goal will be enough. So for that reason, I think what Barcelona is suffering from right now mostly is that calamity called Kobasi, Eric Garcia, and
is the island. Is that island? That nonsense island.
Well,
because they don't have pacey defenders.
Is it the
they are getting exposed.
Is it the eyeline or the fact that even the players themselves are not good enough?
But they played Island last season. They won everything.
But their attacks always carries them. It's not that defense let them down.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if you look at generally where you rank Barcelona defenders right here, like right now, amongst defenders.
Yeah, Martinez is out of that team.
Inigo Martinez was the best defender for them last season.
And that's why I'm saying that the eye line is not in tune with the kind of.
But in this FIFPRO list, don't you think there's a way we can maybe
now who should be the manager of this? Let's give this starting 11 the manager.
Luis Enrique for sure. Luis Enrique for sure. You know, for sure.
I don't know. When we just chopped out.
When we
just chopped out. We just chopped out.
But definitely, this 3-4-3, the best manager should be Ruben Amorim for this formation.
Are you smoking?
He's the only one that is taking his job. He's the only one that is taking his head to defend his formation.
Yeah, he's the only manager. But now we've changed it to a 4-3-3.
Yeah, so definitely
but guys, I'm looking at it like in a way. We like we said, we only have two Premier League players.
Since we have added Salah. No, we have 3 now. We added Gabriel,
Van Dijk, Gabriel,
Van Dijk.
Van Dijk was
there.
We have 3
which is balanced. For me, it's balanced. 3 Premier League players.
Considering the competition.
Of course, it's balanced. And we have La Liga players in terms of Pedri.
We have Rafinha, Pedri.
Then it's okay, it's balanced. But PSG still carries.
Deservedly.
Champions of Europe. They made it to the final.
Yeah, they made it to the final as well. FIFA Club World Cup.
But why are you guys not talking about the Coupe de France and the League and the Ligue 1?
They won 4 trophies.
There are trophies too. No, but you keep talking about Champions League and Club World Cup.
Because
I think the Ligue 1 and the Coupe de France does not matter.
But you consider the league before you consider the local cups.
Yeah, of course. So we settled that in our own FIFPRO, not the one.
Because if you want to talk about Coupe de France and all, then you talk about Copa del Rey for Barcelona as well.
Yeah.
They won 4 trophies as well.
So this FIFPRO we don't select our own. This one way the professional players they select.
They should learn from us. They learn how to choose.
I don't know how they cannot as a defender, you know the attacker you are facing over and over.
I don't want to play 3 centre backs with 2 full backs. I don't understand.
I don't know. I think they just voted
on paper.
I think they voted these things.
I don't think they voted information.
No, they didn't vote information wise. They just voted
there's some people not trying to put it together.
And but it's a very wrong one.